It's the first time we've seen internal public dissident for the president of China. How could this impact his ambition to take back Taiwan? Could it potentially make him want to do it sooner?
I think at this stage, it probably is not going to make a huge difference. I mean, I think it's not going to rise above the basic factors, which I think for him are going to be, can I pull it off? And do I have a better alternative? And does it make more sense to wait? I think those are still the driving factors. If things do get out of hand, you could see more of a possibility that he might say, I'm going to redirect attention. That's not impossible. I just don't, that's a pretty high threshold. And also, if he's going to redirect attention, he's going to want to succeed. So that's the biggest driver. And my sense, the Pentagon released this China military power report earlier this week in the U.S. I think China's building up its nuclear forces. It's improving its capabilities. It's looking for military basing all around Southeast Asia and Africa and so forth. I think there's still a sense that they're not as confident as they would want to be on a Taiwan thing. I think that's a reason for some reassurance, but that shouldn't be a reason for lethargy, because they might decide they're readier than we are, or the Taiwanese are. And they might decide, and in 2 years, they might decide they're ready, or 3 years or 5 years, which from a defense planning point of view is a blink of an eye.
And finally, Bridge, one of America's submarines is off the coast of Western Australia at the moment, and its Rear Admiral, Richard Safe, has spoken about getting Australia more involved in its operations. I guess off the back of AUKUS, it makes sense, and that can never be a bad thing.
I think China's so big and so much of a challenge that, I mean, look, U.S. and Australia are basically the closest allies of each other. And of course, the UK's in there with AUKUS too, and super close. I think we almost have to think of ourselves as like kind of interchangeable, because that's the only way we're going to succeed. I mean, obviously there's going to be Australian units and American units and so forth. But, if you're dealing with for Australia, I think it is a kind of an existential threat. And to some extent it is for us too. We can't afford unnecessary redundancy. There's sort of operational redundancy. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. But yes, we need, and that's, to me, the AUKUS is great. It's absolutely great. There's a lot, but we should be moving a lot faster, particularly on the American side, to facilitate Australia. If a country that's as close to us and reliable and secure, and we've worked with it for so many years, if we can't make this go to hyperspeed, think about how difficult it's going to be with Japan or South Korea, let alone Taiwan.
Thank you so much, as always, Elbridge, for coming on the show, and look forward to chatting with you. Have a lovely Christmas.
Always a pleasure. Merry Christmas to you and yours too.